Da 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 da. I am your singing telegram. Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of the Cozy Quilt Cinema. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Beth. Get ready for a journey through the emotions of a rewatch. From nostalgia to new appreciation, we're watching Clue.
This is definitely one of my favorites.
I don't know that it's my favorite, but it's definitely a go-to.
It's a go-to, yeah. I mean, it's a favorite in the sense that, well, it's a Tim Curry movie.
I mean, this was in 1985.
Yes.
6 guests are anonymously invited to a strange mansion for dinner. But after their host is killed, they must cooperate with the staff to identify the murderer as the bodies pile up. This is a movie about 7 guests, a butler, and a maid, who are all involved in a series of murders. That was the summary.
Yeah, that's not really what the movie's about, though. I mean, yes, but no.
Sure, but it's the basic premise, I suppose.
I mean, yeah. Because if you don't know and you have not seen the movie, you're going to go, oh, okay.
This has a wide cast.
Very. I wrote down...
It's a deep bench, as they say in the business.
Normally, I wouldn't go through everybody in the cast. But because this has so many main characters, you kind of have to.
Sure.
So, Eileen Brennan, Miss Peacock. Eileen was like, she had been around forever before she got to this point.
Sure.
Private Benjamin.
That's who I know her from.
That's how I know her,
I mean,
too.
or The Sting. I mean, those two.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen her in a lot of things, but I remember Private Benjamin the most. Tim Curry as Wadsworth, the butler. Maybe.
Who we went over in Legend.
Oh, yes, because it's just fucking Tim Curry. Madeline Kahn is Mrs. White, which, again, brilliant, mastermind, everything. You name it.
Blazing Saddles.
She was definitely one of...
Young Frankenstein.
She's one of Mel Brooks' favorites. So she was in a lot of his films. Christopher Lloyd is Professor Plum, or Doc.
Back to the Future.
Or Reverend Jim.
Our cat. So Who Framed Roger Rabbit, of course.
Oh, Doc.
And the Addams Family.
Yes, because he is one of my favorite Uncle Festers.
Right. Martin
Mull is Colonel Mustard. And Michael McKean is Professor Green? No, Mr. Green. Mr. Green. Oh my God, I blanked on that. Okay, so here's the thing. Martin Mull, Michael McKean. It's a lot of M's. But they've been in everything too. So yeah, it's like it's hard to like.
Well, Michael McKean was in This Is Spinal Tap, Better Call Saul, and A Mighty Wind, which is one of my favorite.
Mighty Wind.
It's one of my favorites.
I mean, any of those movies.
Oh yeah, no, I love the improv movies.
I like Best of Show. That is my personal favorite.
That's a good one too. Very good. Martin Mull was on the Roseanne TV series. Mr. Mom, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. He's been in a lot of things.
Leslie Ann Warren as Miss Scarlet. And really, Leslie, again, been in a lot of things. Well, I'll get to this when I get to the end of the list. But, yeah, so actually, did you realize that they wanted Carrie Fisher to play Miss Scarlet?
No, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it didn't go through, obviously. But, yeah, originally she was supposed to get the
She's
part.
probably too busy writing.
Probably.
Things. So Leslie Ann Warren was in Victor Victoria, Color of Night, and Desperate Housewives.
Oh, okay.
So.
Colleen Camp played Yvette. Now, there were big names they wanted for Yvette, like Madonna. Right. But Colleen came in her French-made costume, and Jonathan Lynn, who directed / co-wrote, he said she pulled off the role, but honestly, it was the look. She had the body for it.
She had the boobs.
The hypno titties. I mean, only matched by Catherine Tate.
Yeah.
And that one dress with the hypno titties. Yes, that's pretty much what it's matched by.
So she was in Apocalypse Now, Wayne's World, and Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Okay, I did not know she did other things. I literally did not know, but I didn't really look deeply. Lee Ving played Mr. Body.
Yeah.
And the reason why he was cast, because he was actually the lead of a punk band.
Fear.
But the reason why he got the part was because of his name. Mr. Body, leaving. He is leaving. Bill Henderson played the cop.
Well, hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lee Ving was in Flashdance as well as Streets of Fire.
I didn't know he did other things too, because again, I did not look too deeply. I didn't want to know everything.
Yeah.
That's why I keep blanking on people's
It's not a problem.
things.
That's why I'm here.
So again, Bill Henderson, he played the police officer.
He's been in a few things, but I don't have that because he's not a primary. I only took
He's
the
not a
primaries.
primary. But
There are a lot of primaries in
there's
this
a lot of
film.
primaries, but there's a reason why I'm going through all of them.
Sure.
Jane Whelan, who is my clue from last week, member of the Go-Go's, was the singing telegram girl.
Who is just gorgeous, by
She's
the way.
adorable. Kelly Nakahara, who played Mrs. Ho the cook, which I actually had to look this up because it was bugging me. Never bothered me before. But there's a lot of, not so much fat jokes, but fat innuendo.
Oh, sure.
And I had to go, did she put up with that while they lugged her body all around the set? But no, they did actually.
That's what I was thinking the whole time.
No, they did actually have, especially when they're throwing her around, they had fake bodies.
No, but I'm saying, like, I was thinking that when they're doing these, like, exaggerated, like, she's so heavy.
Yeah.
It was like, it's just
Yeah,
so bad. I mean, the murder's fine. It's just don't do the
she's got a
fat
knife in her
jokes.
back, but still, yeah.
Don't do the fat jokes.
So, like, the scenes where they had to do close-ups, like, and the scene when the cop is there and they're all pretending that the bodies are alive,
Yeah.
and he's holding her eyes open, that's obviously Kelly.
Yeah.
And we know Kelly from MASH as Nurse Kelly.
Sure.
And Jeffrey Kramer, who played the motorist, also, he dies. And not credited, but he played the chief, and that is Howard Hessman. And the reason why I went through all of these names is because 3 of them appeared in one episode, and 2 others appeared in 2 separate episodes of the TV show Psych. Howard Hessman, Tim Curry, they were in their own episodes. But Leslie Ann Warren, Martin Mull, and Christopher Lloyd were all in the episode 100 Clues. And if you were as big of a psych nerd as we are, really, really appreciate
The replay of
the
this whole
replay
thing.
of they did their version of the Clue episode, and having the actors come back, not to reprise their roles, but to be in a similar situation. But that episode also had Garrett Morris in it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And so if you're a Psych fan, you'll appreciate that.
So the director is Jonathan Lynn, who did My Cousin Vinny,
Yes.
a great film, The Whole Nine Yards, which I really enjoyed,
Yeah.
and Nuns on the Run, which seems like they were like,
Vaguely remember that.
yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's some stupid deepness.
Well, Nuns on the Run is the earliest one of those 3. And then you had My Cousin Vinny, and then The Whole Nine Yards in 2000.
Now, John Landis was one of the part of the writing crew. And John Landis is known for many, many comedy movies.
Yeah, and you can tell. A lot of this has his style.
They didn't want him at first. So I forget who the first actor was that they chose, but he passed away in 1983, which would have been before they even started production. And then they were actually thinking about Rowan Atkinson. But Jonathan Lynn is friends with Tim Curry. They've been friends forever, and he kind of was like, "Hey, my buddy's got to be in this."
Right.
And I think because Jonathan is also the one of the co-writers, that makes a lot of sense that he had Tim Curry in mind when he was writing it.
I have to say, I can't imagine this movie without him in it.
I can't either. And I don't have a problem with Rowan Atkinson. Mr. Bean wears on me, but Rowan Atkinson, I think, is actually a very, very funny guy. I have seen his stand-up where, I mean, he is Mr. Bean, but he does like other things, not just do the Mr. Bean
Right.
character. And he is very funny. One of my favorite things I've ever seen him in, and it's such a stupid thing too, is he actually played the doctor in a comic relief that they do for their the homeless and children, and they have all these benefits. And I'm probably screwing this up, so if you're British and you're listening, I'm so sorry because I'm half remembering a lot of the stuff. But he did play the doctor in one of the little sketches that they did, and I thought it was funny because like him as a doctor, it actually worked, you know. But this is again, this is my childhood, 85. I was 11. I didn't see it then, but I know I saw it around the time, shortly after it came out. And Clue is my hands down favorite board game ever that I'm not allowed to play because I'm good at it. Everybody says I cheat.
How did you feel?
I loved it when I was younger. It was chaos. Again, Clue is my favorite game, so seeing the characters come to life, even though I didn't always understand the nuance, the things I picked up now, I didn't understand the jokes because I was a kid. I got some of the jokes, but not all of them. And again, my love of Tim Curry started at a very young and deeply impressionable age. And it was just, I don't know, it was a fun romp through my favorite game. Again, it was just, I get the speed of how things happen, the scene in the when with the dead bodies has always been my favorite scene. It's horrifying, but it's always been the quote unquote fake party when the cop is there.
Yes, the Weekend at Bernie's effect, like I said during the movie.
And
you're animating the corpses,
and it's so
it's
stupid.
necromancy.
But I gotta play a necromancer sometime when we play D&D. I gotta do that sometime. I'm gonna do stupid things. I might have to bring back Guillermo, but I think that it always made me feel happy when it was on, because even though it's a movie about murder, I don't know. It's always been just a happy
There's
place
enough
for me.
slapstick involved to keep you from, I don't know, looking at the murder too deeply.
I mean, it's not a good movie and perfect wise. You know, it's not. It has questionable plot holes. It has questionable script choices. It has questionable character choices. But it's become such a classic that the comfort level of it being on, like if even though we just watched it, if you put it on as background noise, I would probably pay attention to it more so than not. Which is saying a lot compared to how I watch movies. So how did it make you feel when you first saw it?
So I saw this in the drive-in theater. So it was at a drive-in movie, and I know because I just got in my car.
Wait a minute. I was 11.
But I had already gotten my car.
Oh, okay.
So I was all excited about it, about taking it to go watch this movie, but I was not allowed to. I'd saved up for this car, and I really wanted to take it, and I thought I was going to get away with it. Well, at the time, 15 is perfectly legal to drive.
Okay.
With a learner's permit.
In your state, not in my state.
Right. But the problem is you have to have an adult in the car. Well, my friends were old enough to have a license.
So you considered them adults.
So technically they are adults, but my father would not allow that. So I did not get to take my car. I was very upset about that. Of course, watching a movie in a 1976 Gremlin probably wasn't going to be the most fun ever.
Probably not.
So we ended up taking a friend of mine's truck, and we watched it in the back of the truck.
Okay, that could be fun.
Yeah, it was fun. We had a good time. The thing is, when you're young and you're at a drive-in theater, usually you're either making out or you're playing.
Yeah, so
you're not
really
paying
listening.
attention to the film. You're hanging out with your friends, whatever.
Yeah.
We paid attention to this film because, okay, so like if you take a feather and you throw it on the ground. A cat may play with it. But if you take a feather and put it on a string and shake it around a lot, you're going to have a cat going crazy. That was us. This had the whole thing was just people going back and forth.
Oh, yeah, no, Tim Curry is the cat, is the feather on the string that you're shaking in front of the cat.
I mean, there was so much energy in the movie. Even before the craziness started, you don't know what the hell's going on. And there are plenty of plot holes in this, and there are loopholes. There are all kind of holes. This is a Swiss cheese of movies.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because the cheese is what matters, not the holes.
Not the holes.
And so, yeah, I had a great time. And it's wrapped up within the nostalgia of my childhood of having that great time at the movies, at the drive-in movies, which we don't usually pay attention to.
True. I think because it's been years since I've seen this movie, and I couldn't remember who did it. So the special thing about this movie is it has 3 endings. And originally when it was distributed to the theaters, you didn't know which ending you were going to get, except for like some places actually said, you can see it on this night and see this ending, and this night would be this ending. And the intention was to see if people would go back 3 times, but most people did not. Because who the hell wants to sit through a whole entire movie for a 2-minute segment to be different? You're just going to be like, eh. So when it went out on DVD, well, VHS, DVD, HBO, they played all 3 endings. And because, that's how I roll. But I couldn't remember who did it for each individual ending. But I really would like to rewatch it now, just so I can see people who are not there. Like, see if we could catch the disappearing people.
So when I saw it in the theater, it was ending A.
Okay.
It was Miss Scarlet did it.
I've only ever seen all 3 endings. Yeah, I've never seen it where it was like...
It did not have like... And I don't remember there being the option of going back to see different endings.
Yeah, I don't think they did it everywhere. I think the bigger
only
cities,
when it got to HBO did I get to see all 3.
I think it was the bigger cities probably had, because when you've got more movie theaters,
probably
you can mix that up a bit more. Again, I would just be curious to see, because like I was trying to catch people being like not in a scene, but there's so much happening in a scene. Like how did I miss if Mr. Body got hit with the candlestick? How did the candlestick end up above the bathroom door?
Right. Again,
I don't. Yeah.
It's not about the holes. It's about the cheese.
I know. Yeah. So I have questions, but so yeah. So other than the feather on the string in front of a cat, how did it make you feel? Just enjoyed it?
I mean, I don't think I felt anything too deeply about it at the time. I think I just enjoyed the film for what it was because it wasn't asking for more than that from you. No,
it really does not ask a lot. Now, I know that this movie has a huge cult following. I know that there was a documentary where this Uber fan tried to get Jonathan Lynn and John Landis and all these people to do interviews. I think he might have gotten Colleen Camp. I honestly don't remember but it really was not a good documentary. And I'm sorry to this gentleman, but people just didn't want to talk about it. The original mansion for the external shots had burned down, and it was actually made the town pretty sad because they saw that as like an iconic thing.
Right.
The set that it was filmed in, the parquet floor looks like the floor of the board game. I love that.
Okay.
And like all the cars when they're pulling up are all the colors of the characters.
Right.
And that I never caught because it's dark and you can't really see the colors of the cars. You don't even see Mrs. White's car because I was looking. Every time a car would pull up, I was like, wait a minute, where's the car? But supposedly there's a list of all the different cars. They have pinpointed when the movie actually takes place because of a scene in...
well, we know it's 1954.
54. June 9th. Wednesday, June 9th, 1954 to be...
Wow.
But here's why. When Wadsworth goes into the kitchen in the beginning and he says something to the cook, and she kind of shoos him out of the kitchen. On the TV is the televised Army McCarthy hearing. And at the moment, what we hear him saying is professors and teachers are getting their orders from Moscow.
Yeah, and
which is really kind of messed up.
Something I can add here, though, is actually that was a good thing. I know it sounds bad, and it is bad.
It is bad.
It's bad in the action. But the good thing about that is the televised McCarthy hearings, when they started being televised, is when the people realized the fanaticism and how wrong it was of what he was doing and what the government was allowing to happen.
Yep.
And that effectively put an end, over time, it put an end to the McCarthy hearings and the witch hunts for communism and things like that. So it was actually, yeah, and it was actually good that they finally, when it was a public hearing, they thought what it would do was stoke everyone's patriotism. Well, true patriotism is knowing that everyone is different and has the rights to be different. And it isn't about your ideology. Yeah. It is about you as a neighbor. It is about you as a person of this country doing the good things for your neighbors and for your country, not posturing about how great a patriot you are.
Well, that's the thing, is that I can be considered a patriot because I love my country. I would never consider a nationalist to be a patriot because they want to shut down your country. They want to exclude people from the country. They want to exclude their own people from participating in the country. That's not patriotism.
No.
That is hateful rhetoric. So, yes, there's a lot of politics in this movie, considering that it is a comedy of sorts. And it is where, like, they make a lot of references to being communists. And, like...
Well, it is a black comedy.
It is a black comedy.
And, you know, in that you have these ties of farce and, you know, it's just there to make fun of the situation.
Oh, yeah.
Or it's there to deeply involve the situation to where it makes you cringe.
So, like, and this is one of the cringe moments, because I didn't, again, as a child, I didn't know what a lot of these words meant. But now I do, and it made me cringe. When Wadsworth is talking about his wife, and he said she was friends with a lot of socialists. Well, we all make mistakes. And
right.
That is such a, like, that made me cringe, because I don't consider myself a socialist, but yet at the same time, I have a lot of socialist views. I believe in socialism. I do think, I was still, again, I wouldn't consider myself a complete socialist, because I do believe that we do need a bit of control in our government. But I also believe that control needs to be led by people who know what the flying fuck they're talking about and are educated in politics and American history.
Well, I mean, socialism is the economic standard by which we don't put people at risk just because they can't afford the capitalism.
Exactly.
So our fire...
I was going to say, I believe in having a fire company because, you know, that's socialism. But if I have a fire, I would like to have them come to my house and help me put it out. And my neighbors, if their house is on fire.
Well, we pay taxes.
Yes.
So that this socialist program of fire departments, rescue workers, you know, these things can happen. And we are protected like a herd immunity.
Yeah, like so last year when we had those big fires by us. Guess what? We did not have a fire in our house and our property, but I was okay with knowing that the people who worked for our local fire departments were out there helping the people who needed it. My tax dollars helping others. Look how that works. And I also believe in universal health care. But they make a lot of communist comments, and I love how communism was just a red herring. I meant to look that up. What does that exactly mean, the red herring aspect?
Well, it's not just a gag.
No.
I mean, they do it many times. It's kind of situating the film in that whole... In the 1980s, there was this whole climate of like suspicion and ideological fear from communist Russia, communist
Yeah, but that
China.
goes back before the 80s too, right? Well, I mean,
Sure,
that was the
but
Cold
we're talking
War,
about
yeah.
Cold War.
When they wrote this, yes.
Yeah, and during the Cold War was prime time for that suspicion. There were all these ideas that we had infiltrators, that there were going to be these sleeper spies that within our realm. There was like these movies of like little Nikita, you know.
Oh yeah.
We had all these like different things.
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn was, the Cubans invading with Russia. Yeah, we had a lot of this type of thing. And the political corruption at the time, the multiple endings themselves kind of mirror that uncertainty of the truth. So all of this is kind of like that same farce that you start out with. You think this movie is about this, but then as you go through, you find out through multiple deceptions that this movie is not about this, but that. And then your endings are also these multiple misleads, and then you're left with no ending because you have multiple endings. Them saying this is the true ending
doesn't mean anything.
Is actually perfect. It's actually a perfect way to segue into, you couldn't trust us at the start. Why are you trusting me now when I'm saying this is the truth?
Exactly.
So you don't know what the true ending is because there is no true ending.
True, you're right. And there are a lot of misleads and redirecting, and there's a lot of symbolism. That's one thing I caught. So there's paintings of multiple presidents in the manor, and they're all presidents who were murdered. The furniture in the mansion was rented by the Teddy Roosevelt estate. That's not a symbolism. I just thought that was a pretty cool fact.
Well, I mean, we have the anxiety about not just political stuff, but about identity.
Oh, yeah. So I did little notes of each character. Not a lot of notes, but a little bit of notes about each character's psyche to a certain degree. Just not so much psyche as pointed things that were pointed out about them that you became very aware of, whether they said it directly or not.
Yeah, well, each guest is hiding something. And not only are they hiding something, but when they get there, their identities are being hidden for them, but they don't know why. And that instills even more paranoia.
Yeah, because they don't know why they're... And they all are, and that's, again, plot holes. If you know you're being blackmailed and someone invites you to a rando party and tells you need to use this name, I'm going to be like, I bet you that's that bitch. That bitch is after me again. I would be questioning it.
Well, they don't know who they didn't know who was doing it.
No.
That's the thing. And I can see that leading you to show up.
Oh, definitely.
Probably not unarmed.
Oh, definitely not unarmed.
So we have Wadsworth, who is not a player. He is the conductor. So this frantic orchestrator is like embodying both control and chaos at the same time.
Yes.
So what do you have for Wadsworth?
I didn't do him because he's not a main character. He's not one of the board pieces.
Okay. He is the instruction booklet.
Oh my God, you're right. He is the instruction booklet.
Let's go to Mrs. Peacock.
Okay.
What do you have for Mrs. Peacock, the nervous, shrill woman who represents our social anxieties and fears of exposure?
So I feel with her, she is a lot stronger than she allows other people to see, because that hides the manipulator that she has become. So she uses her husband's political position to her benefit. She has done this for so long that she has become accustomed to a quote unquote certain way of life. And then that, I mean,
she also doesn't see it as something that is against the law.
No, she does not.
For her, this is how it is done in D.C.
And also, I think she considers herself above the law because her husband's a senator.
Right.
Because otherwise, why would she be, using a position to her benefit? Again, it's the dinner. They're eating food, and she's like, this is my favorite thing. And you find out later on, it is monkey's brains, which is a delicacy in Cambodia. I don't know how true that is. It might be racist. It might be an assumptive thought. I don't know. I didn't do my research on that one, so I'm sorry if that's not a thing. But it's what they say in the movie multiple times. And again, that's not something that an average American white person gets to go do, is to have delicacies in other foreign countries. So even her husband being a senator, that's still not part and play of going and traveling the world and having delicacies.
Sure.
That maybe if he was an ambassador, but he's not. He's a senator. So that means that they're utilizing funds and utilizing their power and position to go do other things.
Sure.
So that's how I see that.
So let's look at Miss Scarlet.
Oh, well, she is honestly, except for being the first ending's guilty party, I feel like she has the least to hide because she doesn't care. She is, I would consider her a madam of sorts. She runs was it a hotel or a restaurant and a phone thingy? I don't know. Basically, she's a madam, and she hooks up, and she's got
She's a businesswoman. She has business plans.
Yes, and she doesn't have a problem with it. She's very sex positive. She does not hide who she is. She's the one who had Yvette working for her. She is not... Again, she knows a lot because she's in a position where she can hold things over the heads of the men who come to her.
In one ending.
Yes. But kind of like, but that's who she is, though. Because she had those pictures of Colonel Mustard.
Sure.
She is very aware of her power in D.C. Now...
Well, she's confident. She's manipulative.
Yes.
She is that embodiment of seduction and cunning that it takes for a woman to survive and thrive in a man's world. Mm-hmm. She is adapted in a way that may seem predictable, but it also is the easiest path to power.
Oh, definitely. I just feel like she is, I don't know, she's always been my favorite, but Miss Scarlet's always been my favorite.
Well, it's like when we did Empire Records. Mm-hmm. I identify with the sex positive person mm-hmm. because, especially the sex positive female or woman, who kind of embodies that I'm not going to do what you want me to do just because you said society is this way.
Exactly.
And sometimes we need the spiritual kick in the ass.
Definitely. What I also thought was an interesting, poor Leslie Ann Warren, in between takes, they would all be playing pool in the billiard room, and she couldn't because of the corset in her dress.
Oh, she couldn't
breathe.
Yeah. So what about Colonel Mustard?
Colonel Mustard, he visits the brothels. He abuses his power. He is a profiteer. He got rich from selling intel and equipment on the black market. He is a manipulator. He comes off as being, I got my money from my dead parents, but he can't.
My mommy and daddy.
But he can't keep up with his own lies because he kind of fucks that up later on. So yeah, he is a manipulator, definitely, and he is definitely being, blackmailed because of his profiteering.
Well, he's the least military-like person there, which is weird.
Oh my God, I know.
But he's also, he's full of bluff and bluster. He is one of those people that you can tell uses his position to mask his insecurity.
Definitely. He is an extremely insecure man, because as soon as anybody mentions what Miss Peacock is, not Miss Peacock, but Miss Scarlet is involved in, he gets paranoid.
Yeah.
And without any, we didn't even have pictures at that point. We didn't even know that he possibly could have. If he just kept his mouth shut, nobody would have known that he possibly had been to the brothel.
But we know now. So what about Professor Plum?
Sex addict. Lacks self-control. Because
Yeah.
he had sex with his clients.
Including the very cute messenger who died.
Yeah. And who got killed because, knew who he was. But he abuses his power over others, where Mrs. Peacock abuses her power through her husband. Everybody abuses their power in some way, shape, or form. But Professor Plum, he does it. He abuses his power over people's their physical bodies, because, again, he had sex with his clients.
Well, all the primaries, except for Wadsworth, are corrupt.
Very corrupt, yes.
They're all corrupt in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And Professor Plum, he's
a horn dog.
He's an arrogant intellectual.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, he thinks he's above others, even though he is the one who has fallen. He's not working for who because he's an intellectual. He's working for who because he had to leave his profession in disgrace.
I like how he says he works for the World Health Organization through the United Nations organization. So it was who.
Yeah. So he's, another thing of hiding that corruption. He's trying to hide that corruption behind this facade of arrogance. Mm-hmm. It's not really arrogance. He knows he's lying. He is intelligent, but that doesn't preclude how you feel inside. It doesn't change.
Oh no, he's probably very hollow, very empty, very lonely.
Right. Especially when all you do is try to fill it with these power moves. I mean, he uses his power over others with his position. He has a power dynamic over his patients.
Yes.
So he feels very entitled to the sex he has with the people who are his subordinates and or his patients. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get across. So what about Mrs. White?
I love her and I hate her. She's a quote-unquote man-eater. She's very angry and possibly murdered her husbands.
I looked at her more as like a black widow.
Very black widow. I love her lines. She's got my favorite lines. Men should be soft, strong, and disposable like Kleenex. Flies are where men are the weakest. Flames.
I don't know what that was about.
That was him. That was the only improvised line, is when she's talking about her anger towards Yvette. Let's see. I had the Kleenex one. I think I stopped writing because honestly, I kept wanting to put all of the lines from her in here because she's got some good ones, and a lot of them were like, I love when they're like, shoot, what was it about? It was when they're in the kitchen, and I think he asks, "Did you kill all your husbands?" And she said, "Mine or other people's."
Right.
How many husbands have you had?
Have you had mine or others? Yes.
Yes. So.
But she is that dark comedy.
Oh my God! It's well, yes, but didn't your first husband die? Well, that was his job. He was an illusionist. Well, he didn't reappear. He wasn't a very good illusionist. I mean, that's just.
But she's got that bitterness
that
just underscores everything that she does.
She is the woman who walks into a room and everybody notices her and then immediately goes, "I ain't fucking with that bitch. I am not going to fuck with her."
Well, except she marries 5. She's had 5 husbands.
Yes.
So obviously she didn't always appear that way.
No, but the last husband, the nuclear physicist, she said he was a very positive human being, so wasn't he shocked at the end?
Exactly.
I mean, that's just, oh God.
I mean, the absurdism runs through this entire film.
She had just the best lines.
So, Mr. Green.
Mr. Green. So if you go by the character, it's himself. I have gay, timid,
Gay.
possibly,
He's just gay.
and he's probably very timid from hiding, because if this is the McCarthy era, and if you've ever seen the movie To Lovely, you know the horrifying things that gay men went through during this time. And even though he said he was not embarrassed by who he was, he also was very timid. Anytime anybody said anything or did anything, or there was a noise, he would spill. He would like water, drinks, whatever, his soup at one point, the spoon going flying.
Sure.
But that could have also been a total front. Yes. But also he was playing it well. Now, if you go by the final ending where he is the plant who was put there to take everybody down.
Right.
And he's the only one who did he's like, but I killed Mr. Body in the foyer with the gun. I mean, that's funny, but I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife. So he's obviously, that was all a ruse if you go by that ending.
Sure.
Now, if you don't go by that ending, then there's a good possibility that, yes, he is just a gay man hiding.
And in that, I think either way, you still obtain the same snapshot of Mr. Green as this awkward morality within the group, that he seems like there's only like this one thing to him.
Yes.
He's gay, he's nervous. Or he's an FBI informant and he's nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But he tends to be one of the more complex characters that we have.
Oh, yeah.
Because no one's just gay. I mean, that's your sexual orientation.
That was just what he thought he was being blackmailed for.
I don't think he's jumping back and forth and he's nervous because he's gay and trying to hide it. I think he's doing that because he's genuinely except for the plant ending, he is genuinely a nervous person.
Oh, yeah, no. And again, I think it has to do with, if you're living in this time, being nervous should be second nature, where you don't know who's going to rat you out and who's going to,
Especially because they all work in government in
exactly.
some capacity, or at least they know someone.
But there's things that you notice, like when they're going, after the cop is there and he's using the phone and he's like, Wadsworth has them all separate again, and they're like, but the police officer, he's like, yes, but Mr. Body is still da-da-da, we got to find the killer. You watch Green and Yvette going up the stairs, and Yvette keeps trying to grab his arm, and he pulls his arm away from her, which is a very, like, don't touch me, you straight woman. Yeah, I'm
kind of.
gay.
But I think that one of the things that I noticed about this film, watching it this time, now I don't think I noticed it any other time, much like you noticing the candlestick, is that of everyone in here, like all of the primaries who are running around, they're all being blackmailed for things they did. He is the only one being blackmailed for who he is.
Yeah, but see, now I am also confused because we never really fully find out what he's being blackmailed for, I don't think, because he stands up and he's like, I have nothing to hide, I'm gay. But if you watch Miss Scarlet and Wadsworth, they kind of are looking at the paperwork and looking at each other like, I didn't know that. That's not in the paperwork. Because even Wadsworth, who's got the papers in front of him from the quote-unquote actual person who set this whole thing up, he's like looking at it and looking at him like, that's not what I've got in front of me.
They never mention it.
No, they never mention what he's actually being blackmailed
So
for.
you have to assume it is about him being gay.
Yes.
So he is the only one being blackmailed or in this situation because of who he is rather than something he has done.
True. So which actually kind of, other than the final ending, makes him one of the most innocent people. Well, actually, even with the final ending.
I would say so, because in the final ending, sure, he's an arrogant straight man playing it, being gay at the time,
But
to get to have all this happen. But also, he was one of the quote-unquote good guys of the time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have. I mean...
Well, so let's talk about the mansion.
Yes.
So the mansion is this... We don't even know how he came to it. He said a friend.
Yes.
But his friend had a mansion?
Yes.
So that doesn't make a lot of sense, but
No.
Wadsworth had a friend who had a mansion. He's a butler who buttles, but his friend had a mansion.
True.
Not just a mansion, but a mansion with secret passages to make all of this possible. So just a very fantastical, again, it's not about the holes, it's about the cheese.
That's true.
And, a lot of this stuff, we don't even mention that the cook died in this, who had almost nothing to do with anything other than being
the cook to Miss Peacock.
Right. So, other than that was it. There's nobody else there that had any. Everybody else was active participants.
Yeah.
The only one who wasn't an active participant was Mr. Green.
Yes.
The cook, kind of,
Ancillary.
also not really.
Well, and then the other people who died.
She didn't even poison their food.
No, she could have totally spit in. Well, she might have spit in the food. We don't know about that. But even the motorist, he was Colonel Mustard's driver. What did he do wrong? Existing? The police officer.
Well, he was selling secrets.
He was selling secrets, yes.
Police officer was taking bribes from Miss Scarlet.
Yes. And Yvette was working with Body.
Right.
So, but then again, so was the cook.
Sure. But just happened to be there selling the secret,
True.
It's kind of like selling it to a tabloid.
True.
Not great, not specifically moral, but not necessarily
Yeah.
a law-breaking, situation either.
Yeah, again, it's not like Mustard's profiteering, selling secrets because, to the highest bidder, but you're selling government secrets.
Right. And all of this is couched in government or some kind of political scheming.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's, about Mrs. White's husband, who was the physicist who was working for the government for the next bomb that they were going to do, or if it was Mrs. Peacock using her senator husband to get more information from people or extort them, or to maybe look favorably upon a law that they were lobbying for.
How we don't see that nowadays, huh?
Right.
Professor Plum said he did not live in D.C., but he worked for the WHO. So yeah.
Well, we have Miss Scarlet and Mrs. White. They both embody different modes of sexuality.
They do. They're basically two sides of the same coin to a certain degree, or the yin and yang of female sexuality. One using it to her advantage in giving it
overtly, yes,
with the other one using it to her advantage to withhold it,
or to use it as a mode of destruction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Again, another great line. Something about life after death. After his death, I now have a life.
And in both ways, that sex is weaponized.
Mm-hmm.
Or in its suppression, or in its overtness. In the societal issue, it is a weapon.
Yes.
That they both are able to use because, or frankly, without patriarchy, they wouldn't be able to use it.
In 1954? Fuck no.
Right.
And that's the other thing, keeping that in mind. And again, I love to say this, the lens of history. The movie takes place in the 50s. So considering that the way women were held to a standard of behavior, yeah, that White and Scarlet would have been held to a standard that they were not meeting. They are not housewives. They are not, the Mrs. Peacock who's holding tea party. She's not tea parties, but like she's having cocktail parties. She's having cocktail parties because she's got to entertain the other politicians and the other politicians' wives. So that, Scarlet's not doing that. She's entertaining the husbands, but not in the same way.
They're not part of polite society.
Exactly. That was what I was thinking. Polite society.
Yeah. Which is just the patriarchal control point of do things the way we tell you, or at least hide it.
Exactly.
So that we don't have to see it.
So I've mentioned my favorite lines. What's yours?
I think I don't really know what my favorite line is, except communism was just a red herring is inherently funny to me. Mm-hmm. Just because.
So that was my question. What does a red herring mean? Like, is it...
Okay, so I looked this up a long time ago, but a red herring is like a false flag. There is an actual definition to red herring.
And are there no actual red herrings?
Well, that's just it. There are red herrings. But that also is a false thing. So let me just tell you. So a red herring can literally be a smoked herring, which is red.
Okay.
Which will turn red by the smoke itself. Or the red herring could be a clue or piece of information that is intended to be misleading or distracting.
Okay.
So red herring actually comes from a hunting trick.
Okay.
So you can draw a red herring or a dried fish across a trail to confuse hunting dogs.
Ah.
Which distracts them from the real issue.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
So the reason why they use red herring in this is because almost everything in here is a mislead.
Yeah, and I've not used, but I've heard that line used before in many, many different things. Hell, and they used to have a Scooby-Doo cartoon where they were all little kids, and like the bad guy, quote unquote bad guy, was always a little kid whose name was Red Herring. And so but I never understood what it actually meant, but that makes so much sense to me now. So now I'm not weirded out by the statement. Does it make sense?
It's one of those things where it's become such a colloquial use that we don't really recognize it anymore as being an odd thing to say.
Yeah, we forget the etymology of where these words come from, and that's kind of a sad thing that we forget that where they come from. I think that's why I always like to learn about, especially with the colloquialisms of local slang and local words and local, just that always makes me happy to learn. My favorite one to use with people, well, there's a few, but the toboggan. I grew up in an area where a toboggan is a sled, and the very first time I had a parent come into one of my classes looking for their child's toboggan that they left in the cubby, a 2x4 cubby. And I'm going, there's no way you could have fit a toboggan in that cubby. And they're like, are you crazy? It's just a hat. And I went, a beanie. And even then, we didn't call them that. We just called them wool caps. But beanie is the replacement word for, I guess, the toboggan for parents who don't call the kids' hats toboggans.
Yeah, well, a toboggan hat comes from people who used toboggans, the sled.
Yes.
So they wore those hats, and those became known as toboggans. I have always called them toboggans.
It's weird for me, but also
because it is a style of beanie that is not a beanie.
It's not really a beanie, but that's what they're called. All of them, even beanies now.
The style of hat. It's got the folded flap. It fits down over your head.
Isn't that a
That's
toque?
a toboggan.
I thought that was a toque.
I mean, you could probably have a toque in there.
Okay. So also I grew up in the Northeast and we called it Appalachia. The Appalachian Mountains, Appalachia. And it's not a soft sh, it's a ch. It's the Appalachian Mountains. Appalachia. So yes, it's definitely, everybody has their own thing.
We call it omelettes and not omelettes.
And how, like, in certain areas, every soda is a Coke, but it's not.
A Pepsi.
Oh my God, no, it's not. It's not every soda is a Coke, not every soda is a pop. Well, maybe it is, I don't know, but they're not all Cokes. Especially if you're gonna have a Sprite, you're not getting a Coke. If you're getting a Mr. Pibb, now you might be getting a Dr. Pepper, but you're not getting a Coke.
So in this, let's go back to the actual
it's all
movie.
red herring.
There's quite a lot of red herrings
Yes.
there. The emotional chaos that lies beneath the politeness. Because, okay, so Tim Curry as Wadsworth.
Such a polite man, but he's not.
The whole time he's talking, he's mostly calm.
Mm-hmm.
And even when he's excited, he's not freaking out.
No, like, because when he's manic at the end, because he's running through it, doing the whole movie for the other characters in fast forward, he's not angry, he's not upset, he's just like excitable. He's manic.
Okay, but keep this in mind. Throughout the movie, what has been happening with this group of people?
Oh, they've been losing their shit slowly.
They've been losing their shit, but they've been what? What's the main emotion they have had this entire time?
Fear.
Fear, except when Wadsworth is running back and forth like a crazy person explaining what's happened. At that point, this whole group of people has forgotten to be afraid.
Oh, yes.
And is instead enthralled by the story that may be by following him back and forth, trying to, and not only do they do that, but they also forget to even be enthralled and start leading it themselves and shouting out answers.
I know, and it's so funny. But a piece of real life sadness here is that this was the first movie that Eileen Brennan did after going into rehab. She just come out of rehab for a problem with pills, with pain relief pills, because she had been in an accident in 1982. Her and Madeline Kahn had been friends, best friends forever. And then when they did this movie together, Madeline Kahn just really didn't know how to interact with her, and she kind of kept her distance with Eileen Brennan, and then they never spoke again after that. That's kind of sad. But I know that Eileen Brennan had a hard time keeping up with those scenes. She always said that was the hardest part of the whole movie, was just coming out of rehab. Your body is still hurting. And now I've got to chase after Tim Curry as he does all these crazy things. But that was, to me, the saddest part of the movie for me.
It's hard seeing her in that role when I see her as the very confident and very striking, commander, drill sergeant in Private Benjamin.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's just hard for me to separate the character.
Was she in both the movie and the TV show, or just the TV show?
I don't know about the TV show. I only know about the movie.
Okay, I thought she was. I can't remember what I looked up, if it was the movie or the TV show, but either way.
Well, she was in the movie, so.
But so who played Private Benjamin in the movie?
Huh?
Who played Private Benjamin?
Goldie Hawn.
Then she was in the TV show, because the TV show is what I saw, and it was with Lorna something or other.
Oh, okay.
As Private Benjamin. So maybe she was
that was confusing because I knew it existed. I just
Yeah.
never saw it.
So maybe she was in both. And
she had to have been.
Yeah, she had to have been in both. So yeah, there's that. And I think that's really, again, it's sad to lose a friendship, especially when they've been friends first. So yeah, I just didn't to know that friendship fell apart, even though, it really wasn't her fault. I mean, she was recovering.
Yeah, but it's not, I mean, we don't know their dynamic. We don't know
No.
anything about their friendship.
Yeah.
It could be that someone who has a dependency issue keeps failing. It will drive people away, even if they're trying their best.
Yeah, and we don't know, what Madeline Kahn was also dealing with, because
Sure.
I know from a personal aspect, I have a hard time being understanding, for lack of a better word, with individuals who have continuous relapses in drug addiction. But from my own experience and my own abuse, per se, that's where I have an issue with it. And that's a me problem, not a them problem.
Right.
And I'm very aware that it's a me problem.
So I think the fun part of this movie is they use absurdity and the pacing to keep this movie a comedy.
Oh yeah, because it's very slow in the beginning.
Well, you could really turn this into a drama very easily, and this could be something that Perot is trying to suss out very easily, because this whole system, this whole thing is set up like one of those detective shows or detective books.
Yeah.
In which, you bring Sherlock Holmes in, or you bring in Perot, or you bring in
Agatha Christie.
Yeah, and well,
not Agatha herself, but she'd write about it.
But
unless you've seen that,
this could be a drama.
Yes.
And as well as anything else, because the only thing that's keeping it a comedy is the tone.
Oh yes, because sometimes it'll start to get pretty deep and dark, and then all of a sudden somebody says something so absurd that you're immediately pulled back, going, "Oh yeah, we're in a comedy." Right. It's a comedy with murder, but it's a comedy.
And I kept getting taken aback by that just now, and I'm like, we just watched this.
We know how this movie
goes.
I've
seen this before. I know it's a comedy. Why do I keep acting almost surprised that I did not feel that way?
Never did I ever feel that way before.
Now I do. Now I'm like, I keep trying to find the drama in the comedy rather than accepting the comedy that's within the comedy.
Yeah, and I think that's what was weird about it for me this time, was that I really was sucked in and then immediately knocked out again, once, somebody would make a joke, or when the absurdity part.
I think maybe perhaps it is because we have gotten older and we're seeing the complexities rather than just taking the surface value of the comedy.
I mean, that could be it. It could be that we watch programs that, while they might have moments of lightness, are pretty much we just have been watching Lucifer, and Tom Welling, not Tom Welling, that's the other actor. Tom Ellis, he is a great Lucifer, but he has that lightness that you're expecting his jokes. You're expecting his version of levity, but also his version of darkness, while there's these murders that he's helping to solve.
Sure.
So there's an absurdity because you are dealing with literally the devil solving mysteries, but you don't get pulled out of the reality of that world while you're watching it, because it's just who he is. Where with this, because we're so used to that, where it's very seamless, this is not seamless. It is drama. Somebody makes a really silly joke. Oh, we're all going to be silly for half a second. And then we're going back to the drama.
Well, it's that pacing will hit you every time because you don't have time to stop. No. Only at the very start do you have a slow enough pace to understand fully what's really happening with the group, and you start trying to piece it together. And about the time you start recognizing some holes in the plot, and those are holes that are written into the plot because they're supposed to be there. When you start realizing what those are, then the pacing jumps up, and the comedy and the absurdism amps up. And then you don't have time to think about it anymore. And you just keep getting whiplash from comedy to drama, and the drama being the murders or the situations, because you can say it's comedy, but someone having to out themselves as gay is not fun for anyone.
Now, in 1984 or 85, in 1985, that probably got a lot of laughs by a lot of idiotic people. And it probably still would get a lot of laughs by a lot of idiotic people. But if anybody stood up in front of me and said, I'm gay, I would be like, okay, who isn't?
Well, just like, you don't out yourself.
No.
Unless you're ready to out yourself. And this is one of those things of you're being forced to because of the McCarthyism of it all.
Yes.
You're being blackmailed. The only way to get through the blackmail is just to admit everything, but everyone else gets to admit something they did. They have to admit something they did, and in essence, what they're saying is, you have to admit the wrong that you did by being gay.
Yes.
You did something wrong, and that isn't what happened. He just is gay, or is playing gay, because he may be a straight guy at the end. But he didn't actually do anything. He just was something.
Which, again, that kind of leads more credence to the last version of the endings to be the true version of the endings. Because, yes, the McCarthyism of it all, of him outing himself like that, is fine. But the McCarthyism of it all would have kept him quiet.
Right. It would have been the last thing he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because he would have been blacklisted. He never would have been able to work.
Yeah.
He may well go to jail for being gay.
Yeah. If he was lucky.
Right.
So, yeah, he's definitely, I feel like, a very complex situation because we don't really know the truth of it all, because, again, we're just assuming that the final ending is the final truth.
But I think that it's safe to say that probably is not the true ending.
And it was probably also a red herring.
Right, exactly. So how is this going to fare with the Castellini test?
I think it's actually going to fail.
Do we want to talk about how we feel about it now?
Oh, yes. How do I feel about it now? Okay. Comfort-wise, I still love it. Intellectually, it has its issues. But I gotta look at the cheese and not the holes. Again, I'd still watch it over and over again. If it was on cable.
Okay.
On a loop. I would probably still do that.
So for me, I am very happy I get to see Johnny Fever showing up on the door there every once in a while.
Yeah, because, Howard Hessman.
But
I'm a fan of the WKRP.
But I do like this film. I think that Tim Curry makes this film. Otherwise, I would not want to watch it.
Yes.
Anyone else buttling would
Yes.
not make this movie watchable for me, because I just don't care enough about the McCarthyism of it all.
Yeah.
We have plenty of that in real life.
Yeah.
So right now, at this moment in time, I don't find this particularly entertaining for the political discourse that it mocks.
Yes.
And I'm fine with it mocking it. I think it should be mocked. But also I think it doesn't go far enough to mock the actual mechanisms rather than the people involved in the mechanisms.
Yeah, I think really it should. Unfortunately, in 1985, they were not predicting that in 2025 we would be back to the 1950s.
Or concentration camps
of the 40s and
shock troopers.
So they had no idea that's what. Otherwise, I think they might have been a bit more pokey, stabby at the and been more overt about their making fun of it.
This isn't my critique of why they didn't do that.
I'm just saying I think they would have.
Yeah, I'm just saying that as the film stands, those are the issues.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think that this is a movie that I'd necessarily want to see again in the near future, mainly because
I mean, again, not if I'm going to pay attention to it 100%.
Right.
I don't want to watch it like that. But as background noise for us, so I can watch the fun scenes, yes.
But I love the individual characters for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I like the dynamics that they have, that they all seem to be cowards of one way or another.
Oh, yeah.
In different situations, they're cowards. In other situations, they're almost heroic.
Yeah.
But Wadsworth is, for me, he's the thing I'm watching. Tim Curry is the person I'm watching the entire time.
He is.
I want him to do well.
Yes.
I want him to be the one who wins.
I love his smarmy attitude. I mean, because he's smarmy at times.
Sure, but he
is
your protagonist. And it seems like he's the protagonist. Even if he becomes the antagonist, you're okay with it because all the others are antagonists as well. And you just want him to do well in the film. You want him to win over the others.
You feel so bad when he's talking about his wife, you know, and how she killed herself because of Mr. Body, and you're feeling really bad about it, and then you're just like, you know, he needs a win, guys. He needs a win.
But it's one of those things where this movie is always going to leave you wondering if what you just watched was the real intent of the movie or if there was another thing behind it.
I think that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And if you've never seen it, it really, I'm so sorry because we just ruined a lot of it.
Well, there are 3 endings, and we didn't tell you
endings.
exactly what happened.
Yep, only, you know, just, yeah. It's definitely, it's worth a watch. Definitely worth a watch. Now, do I think it's going to pass the Castellini? When you have a massive cast like this, that there's so many main characters, I don't know, maybe. No, I'm gonna change my answer. I think it will. It will pass the Castellini.
Okay, I'm gonna posit that it is going to pass. That's what I'm saying. So we'll see.
Okay.
There have to be at least 2 named women characters with at least 5 lines of dialogue each.
White, Peacock, and Scarlet, and Yvette.
Everyone but the cook.
Yes, she's the only one who says nothing but maybe get the hell out of my kitchen.
Yeah, she only has 1 line.
Yeah. Sorry, Kelly. Nurse Kelly deserved better.
Those characters must have a conversation, not necessarily with the other woman, either not about their partner or with their partner, future or current, and not about their relationship.
Done.
All of them.
Yeah.
They're not talking about their relationships with each other.
No.
There's no one in there that they're seeing. So
no, the only one who talks about their relationships are really, and this is vague, it would be Miss Peacock about her senator husband, but not about their relationship, just about his power, in a way, without saying power. And Miss White talking about her husband. I mean, she does make a joke about the life after death is like saying sex after marriage. It doesn't exist. But, so she's very
but
negative.
It's not about their relationship.
Yeah, no, she's not saying, I like him, oh my god, I think I want to date him. You know, they're not having those type of conversations.
At least one of the women has to be integral to the plot, meaning that if she were written out of the film, it could not reach the same ending.
Well, I think that's with all 3 women, really. I mean, all except for maybe the cook. Sorry, Kelly. I think with the mains, you're going to, if you lose them.
Well, 2 of the endings require
2 of those
one of the women.
At least 1 woman for each of the endings.
Right.
Actually, all 3 endings requires all of the women, because if you look at the 3rd ending, they're all responsible.
True.
So yes, it would not be able to come to the same.
Yeah, so it passes the Castellini.
Now, is it a diverse cast? In a way it is, but it is not. Yes, we have Kelly Nakahara, and she is the cook, but it's very small of a role. Yes, we have Bill Henderson, who is the token black man, for lack of a better, but that's it. And they've got very small parts, so it's not diverse. They have
no primaries.
There are no primaries of color. It does not pass on the diversity scale. They do exist in the film, but they are not prominent enough.
I mean, we have women.
We do have women.
But we don't have any diversity beyond that.
Yes, we don't have people of color.
We do have a gay representation.
Ish. But again, the two people of color in this film have very little. I mean, even the police officer, if he didn't come in there, anybody else could have done his part.
Sure.
So, I mean, I hate to say that. So, more diversity would have been nice. But again, 1954, 1954, New England.
I just want to point out that while Clue did not, Psych did.
Psych did, because Psych had Garrett Morris.
So in the Psych episode where they reenacted Clue,
it was diverse.
It was diverse. But we also had recurring roles from this cast from the Clue movie in their show.
Yes, we had Christopher Lloyd, Martin Mull, Leslie Ann Warren. Leslie Ann Warren, so if we were going for the diversity factor, she hooks up with Garrett Morris, and they had a mixed baby.
There you go.
So lots of, I wouldn't say lots of diversity, but again, Dule Hill, he gets a lot of clout in my world because he's fucking Dule. He's Sam.
It's true.
You know, Sam the Onion Man.
So I think that you're going with the holes thing. It's not about the holes, though. It's about the cheese.
But I hate that he dies.
I know. It's very not fair, which is why the movie happened.
I know.
Because it wasn't fair.
We need to do holes one time.
Probably.
That's got a diverse cast.
It's true.
Even if it's got somebody in it that I can't stand, neither can you.
The Voight?
The Voight of it all. But he gets basically his dues in that one.
Sure.
Yeah, we need to do holes soon. If you would like to watch Clue, you can watch it on MGM Plus, YouTube, Fubo TV, Sling TV, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, Philo, Google Play, Apple TV, and Fandango at home, either as a subscription or you can rent it for $3.99.
Thank you for joining us for Clue 1985. This has been Cozy Quilt Cinema with Beth and Michelle. We love having this space and we love having you here. Sharing the emotions and insights that movies can leave lingering well after the movie is over. To keep the feelings going, follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at Cozy Quilt Cinema, or send your feedback and personal reflections to cozyquiltcinema@gmail.com. You can always find our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts. Please consider subscribing and leave a rating to help this community grow.
Okay, so here are my clues for our next episode, which is the first of a few of them that we're doing for the Christmas season. So that's a clue, even though it's not one of my clues. This movie was one of 4 LGBTQ related Christmas films of 2020. You got The Christmas House, Dashing in December, and The Christmas Setup. This one was number 4. Also, 2 RuPaul Drag Race alum are featured in this film. They're not mains, they're just there. One of them won twice.
All right.
And they're both 2 of my favorite drag queens.
I know they are.
So, until next time, friends. Why is the podcast stopped? It's frightened.
That was a good saying. Communism's a red herring. Bye.
Bye.